Hey, Nicholas, what's on your mind today?
You may not be very happy with me for this call, but I called because I feel obligated to tell you how unhappy with you I am today.
Okay.
And I don't remember being unhappy with you before because I agree with you about almost everything.
You're entitled to disagree with me. So you think that Democrats should not go along with the GOP on this?
You've got to be kidding. I hope this is some kind of a sick joke on your part. Do you not fully understand that if the GOP were allowed to control the southern border again, that people will die, families will be destroyed, gang members will kill people in
That's already happening,
El
Nicholas.
Salvador over this?
That is literally already happening right now, every day.
I know it. And do you want more of it to happen?
No, I want less of it to happen.
And you think that by giving control of the southern border to the GOP in the name of political expediency is a good idea?
I do.
I am so outraged I can barely breathe.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I think that the immigration issue, this southern border issue, is going to be the hottest issue of this election. Donald Trump has,
I can't disagree.
He based his 2016 candidacy on it. In fact, he started his candidacy with
I can't disagree, Tom.
And this takes that away from the Republicans.
By what? Making other human beings suffer?
Well, they're already
flexible
suffering.
and creative was really essential to what I wanted to make.
No,
know
it's
that.
true.
Everybody knows
It is
that.
true.
But we can't do anything that will further the suffering.
I think that if a deal was, one of the problems right now is that you've got every Republican on earth running around saying the border's wide open, the border's wide open. If you read my article, I've got links to headlines from 15 or 20 different Republicans just from the last few months saying the border's wide open.
Yes.
Fox News says it every single day. That message is not intended for Americans. That message is intended for people in South and Central America. It's come on in, folks. This is what the Republicans are saying. Now, if the Democrats say, okay, we'll go along with you, we'll shut the border, more or less. I'm not talking about legal entry points. I'm talking about we're just going to stop processing asylum seekers and immigrants for a year. If that happens, then that news is going to travel down to Central and South America, and people are going to stop paying coyotes to get up here, and they're going to stop coming. Now, the big problem, Nicholas, is the people who are in process right now, people who are in transit, people who are trying to get here. And I just don't know what to do for them. I mean, either we continue a situation that, I mean, we're getting, several million people a year coming into the United States, at least 1 million coming into the United States without documentation. And if that continues, it's breaking New York City. You've got Mayor Adams saying that he's going to have to shut city functions down because his budget is blown. You've got Chicago in the middle of a crisis. You've got
give them green cards to work.
Well,
How complicated is
I'm all
that?
in favor of that, but that requires changing our immigration law, and it requires the House and Senate to actually pass legislation, which I don't think is going to happen.
All I'm saying is that one crazy plan and idea does not warrant another crazy plan and idea. And I see your idea as absolutely inhumane.
I get it.
I see the suffering. You know where I live.
I know.
Have you been to the Mexican camps that are holding these people while they await asylum hearings?
I have not.
I have been.
Yeah.
Twice.
It's a terrible situation,
They're
Nicholas.
unbelievable. They're slums of despair.
Let's send the word out that there's no point in coming any longer. It's actually, I hate to say this because it sounds like I'm promoting Trump, and I'm really not. And I'm not saying that the border should be closed. But let me just point this out. You can go back and look at the numbers. When Trump closed the border based on his COVID excuse, essentially, when he closed that border, the number of people who were coming toward the United States radically dropped, which means that there was less human suffering here, or at least on our border.
On your border?
Yeah. I mean, yes, there's still
general,
a lot.
Not in the real world.
Oh, not in Guatemala, not in Venezuela, not in El Salvador. I get it. Those countries have terrible problems, and we need to be doing something about that. But you're not going to get Republicans to help with that either. The only way, if you want to have a humane immigration policy, and you want to do something about the conditions in these countries that are driving people to the United States border, you have to have Democrats in control of Congress and the White House. And if you take this issue away from the Republicans over the next 12 months, then you increase significantly the probability that Joe Biden will get reelected as president.
This is not the way to take the issue away from them. This is not the way to take the issue away from them.
Well, then what's the way to do it?
By explaining exactly what's going on to them, trying desperately to educate people.
You're talking about, you're suggesting that Republicans care about human beings. These are brown-skinned people. In the minds of most Republicans, they're not even human.
Who might, I'm talking about people who would, in fact, vote for Joe Biden, so that in the numbers it would defeat Trump. You don't have to depend upon the GOP to defeat him. I've given up on that. I think we all should. No. I'm talking about Democrats need to hear more of the truth. They don't need a plan to accommodate for some political expediency to the GOP. I'm sorry, you're absolutely wrong on this. Or you simply don't fully understand the amount of suffering that it will cause here.
No, I do, Nicholas. I really do. And like I said, I think that this will over time diminish that suffering. But you know, how many people should the United States accept as immigrants every year?
As many as are needed to fulfill the jobs.
Oh, we're there right now.
I'm not naive. I'm not stupid. I get it. But there are probably millions. In fact, there have been documented as being millions of jobs that are going unfilled. Elder care is the number one. Yeah. They're the most compassionate people. They're the best to care for our elders who do not get the care they need. But that's just
then let's put into place a system to make that work. I worked in Germany under a work permit. I worked in Australia under a work permit. These are rational systems that are designed to meet the needs of the country and the needs of immigrants. We don't have that here in the United States because Republicans won't, you know, this has been an issue that has worked tremendously to their benefit for the last 20 years. And every time there's a Democrat in the White House, Fox News starts the caravan hysteria 6 months before. I encourage you, Nicholas, to read my article today. Maybe I didn't lay out all the details, you know, on the air, but I think
I hope you didn't, in fact, because what I heard on the air was absolutely appalling to me.
Yeah, well,
and I'm making no bones about it. You can hear it.
You're entitled to disagree with me. You know, especially you. I honor your opinion.
Please don't laugh.
I'm laughing at myself. Well, you know, whatever. Nicholas,
we're going to have to disagree on this one, but boy, am I disagreeing.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. I totally got it. And, you know, like I said,
please rethink it. Please rethink it.
All right. You know, give me an alternative, and I will.
You're smart enough. You can come up with one.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Nicholas. We'll talk to you later. It's 47 minutes past the hour. What's on your mind? And what do you think about, you know, should the Republicans make a deal, or should the Democrats cut a deal with the Republicans, or should they just, you know, keep on their merry way? We'll be right back.